Hello and welcome back to Moms in Timeout. I'm Sarah Priest, your host, and I'm joined today with Courtney. And I just love this story so much because you really beautify motherhood from the beginning, which is something I was really missing. And with your products, they're gorgeous and they're functional, which is very difficult to find as a new mom. So I can't wait to dive in today. Welcome.
Sarah, thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting and fun. I love this.
So your company's fairly new, and we just
Yes.
connected, and I was
Mhm.
thrilled to connect. And we were just talking about how much this would have been so nice when I was a new mom. My kids are 6 and 8 now. So how did you get to where you are now? Which I know is a loaded question, but where do
Yeah,
you want to go with it?
absolutely. I wish that I had this too when I was a mom, which is how I came up with the idea. I have three kids, 9, 5, and 3. And my idea initially started when I first breastfed my son Max,
Mhm.
and I would always lose my nipple shield. I needed to use a nipple shield. I would always lose it. It was clear. I couldn't find it in the middle of the night. It would get stuck in the sheets. It would fall between the couch. And I was like, where are the colored nipple shields? And I searched and searched and I couldn't find one anywhere. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make my own.
And
And
I
I,
love that's where you went with it. That you're like, you know what, this is annoying. I need to just do this. People need this. I'm going to create it.
Yes, absolutely. And I've always kind of had an entrepreneurial spirit. And when I was little, I loved like trying to think of new products and stuff. And I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I was so scared to make the leap because I didn't know what direction to go. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I was always creative, but I just didn't have that one thing that really excited me.
Mhm.
And I just decided to take the leap. So my daughter, who's 9, she's my stepdaughter,
Mhm.
and I'm so lucky to have her. But when I had my first son, I was working as a store manager at Target, and when I had him, I became a stay-at-home mom, which was kind of like I didn't know that's what I was going to do. I never knew I was going to be a stay-at-home mom, but it kind of just worked out that way.
Mhm.
But I knew I wanted to do something more, and this was kind of like a great jump to start my entrepreneurial journey. So I found a designer, I created something pretty, and along the way, I was like, well, let's not just make it colored, let's make it beautiful too. And that kind of sparked my idea of, oh my gosh, like I had such a tough transition when I had Max, and I had a really tough time with like my body image and just feeling really pretty in my skin. And like, your whole body is new and this is such a new
Mhm.
experience for you. Your hormones are going crazy. Everything is so wild. And I just wanted to feel like a sense of like beauty and empowerment. And I just had this idea of like, why can't all these postpartum accessories be pretty? Like, if there's anyone who's more deserving of something beautiful, it's a new mom. And we always put so much focus on the baby and what does the
Mhm.
baby need and all these cute little things for the babies. But like, what about the moms who are doing this work and going through this change and this journey? And like, it's such a transformative time in a woman's life to become a mom. And as a first time mom, even, you don't realize what you're about to go through. And I just want my accessories, when moms to use them to remember and remind themselves of how beautiful they are and how strong they are and how powerful they are. And I just want a little tiny reminder for moms every day that she's perfect and like this is a beautiful journey she's on. It's really tough, but there is an end in sight.
Absolutely. And I love your messaging too, and your packaging, like across your community of just, it's so important. And we do. I mean, you decided to do this because you needed it. It's similar to me. Like I saw a need and I was like, I need this. Where is it? So I
Right.
created it, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And to be able to empower women along the way is so important because it is hard for so many people. And nowadays it's way more common than it was even 10 years ago to talk about the postpartum struggles because you
Mhm.
feel like there's something wrong with you. Like my daughter's 8 and a half now, and I was going through it in Southern California, and I really felt like I was like, what did I do? I can't do this. I can't, I mean, postpartum depression, anxiety, but mostly kind of rage and like losing myself,
Mhm.
really hating my body, which I hate to say out loud, but it's like I really was like disgusted with everything that had happened and changed, and it was broken, and my tailbone was literally broken, and all of it. Like, what a healthy reminder to have a product that one makes you feel pretty, even if it's for a second. I mean, really, you're grasping at straws at that point of motherhood. And just the powerful messages that you are strong, you are important, you are loved, and that you're doing an incredible thing of raising this newborn.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think that it's talked about enough. And maybe I just wasn't looking in the right places, or I was just so naive to believe that, oh, I'm going to be a mom. It's going to be so pretty. But I want moms to understand and not be scared when they come into this journey of motherhood, because it is
Mhm.
beautiful. But just to understand that it can be tough for some, and it's not tough for everyone, and that's fine. Everyone has their own journey. But at the end of the day, whether it's tough for you or it's not tough for you, you still deserve to have beautiful things that you're excited to use, that are really high quality, that mean something more for you as a mom. And you are so beautiful, and like you just brought a life into this world. Like that's incredible. You
Mhm.
shouldn't have to use sterile medical grade products that look terrible. You
Yeah, that
deserve
are
to
just
have a baby.
clear or gray or white, and that is
Yes,
it.
yes, exactly. You deserve to have something beautiful for you after that journey that you just went through.
So becoming an entrepreneur, because I think a lot of us jump into this and you're like, well, I don't, you hope the net appears, like you just kind of are brave and do this. What has shifted for you? Not only like in a business sense, but in being a mom. What has
Yeah.
shifted in your relationship with your kids becoming
Oh
an
my
entrepreneur?
gosh. I was so scared to make the leap. And that's probably, my son is 5 now. He's in kindergarten, and I'm just doing this. My daughter's 3. And it took me these 3 years to make the leap. And I was so scared to do it. And I'm just so thankful. My husband is incredible. And he was like, you just got to do it. Like, you just got to do it. And I was so hard. What are people going to think about me? What is it going to look like? What if I fail? And he's like, you can't worry about that. You can't worry about the what ifs. Just do it. If you fail, whatever. Well, like find something else to do. You'll think of something different. You'll do something new. You can go back to work. There's always jobs available.
Yeah,
But like you will always wonder if you don't do it. And absolutely, I would always wonder. Like I'm a dreamer. I dream of things that I want to do. And I know that if I never took the leap to do this, and just like jumped in, even though I was scared, I would always wonder what if, for sure. So
absolutely.
it
And I
is
love that you had that brave moment to be like, I'm doing
yes.
this.
Yeah. And,
And I,
go ahead. Sorry.
oh, I just think so many times you become a mom and like for me, like total loss of self. Like I didn't know, like I was this independent person for 36 years and had all these things and no one talked about like all the things that I was going to lose from like a personal standpoint. Like I was no longer an athlete. I was no longer a trainer. I was no longer a teacher. There was all these things that disappeared and now I was just mom.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
that was a really hard slap in the
Mhm.
face of being like, why didn't anyone tell me that this was, people say motherhood's hard, but you're thinking, okay, you're going to be sleep deprived. I'm going to be, but it's like all the other mental and emotional health pieces that
Mhm.
people just don't talk about.
Absolutely. You always think the physical because that's the
Mhm.
first thing our mind always gravitates to, but you don't think about
Absolutely.
the mental toll it has on you. And you don't have to just be a mom. I actually posted something on our Instagram yesterday, and it was like, send this to a mom as a reminder. Like, you are not just a mom, you are here to follow and chase your dreams and show your kids what that looks like too. And
Mhm.
as a mom, I think you gain this like sense of confidence, like, oh, I want to be great for my kids. It's
Mhm.
a different feeling you have. And that was part of like making my leap is I want my kids to be proud of me. I want them to, when as my company grows and they grow and they can understand a little bit more about what I'm doing, of the impact that we're making. And, I'm not just doing this for me and my family. Like this is bigger. This is for all the moms in the world. And
Mhm.
I don't want it to be just for me. I think every mom, deserves this, and I want every mom to feel just to feel empowered and amazing as a mom. So that's really where it stems from. I never wanted my entrepreneurial journey just to be about what I can do and like how it can benefit me. I needed to be something bigger and something that I was super passionate about. And being a mom and a strong woman for our children is something that I'm really passionate about. So
And I love that you say like it's a different mindset of once you
Yeah.
become a mom that you're like, even with taking care of yourself, of like this idea of self-care. It's like, yeah, I know I should take care of myself, but now I have this bigger reason. Like I have a bigger reason to like be able to get up and down off the floor. I have a bigger reason to be like the best version of myself because other people are really directly affected 24/7,
Yeah.
depending on how old your kids are. So I commend you for being such an inspiration to taking the leap and making it happen and pursuing your dreams, even though your kids are super little. Like it would have been very easy to be like, I'll do this when my youngest goes to kindergarten. I'll do this when the kids are in middle school, or I'll do this when the kids are grown, which I hear a lot from women who are now like pursuing second, third, fourth careers because their kids are out of the house. So they've put everything on hold. And I just love that you're living proof that you don't have to. You don't have to put it on hold. You can do both and you can have it all, just not at the same time. It's all like an ebb and flow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's so true. I mean, there's never, there's never right time. Whether you are older or you do have young kids, like you have to
Mhm.
do what's best for you and the timing that's right for you. And
Mhm.
uh, you know, I'm 35, which sounds, if I was young it would say you're old, but like you're never too old to start something new, whether you're
Mhm.
50, 60. When you're 60 you still got 40 years hopefully
Mhm.
left in your tank, so like that's a really long time if you think about it that way.
Mhm.
You just, the timing has to be right for you, and even if it's scary, I just encourage every woman out there, if you have a dream, just go for it, because you'll always wonder what if you don't.
And you and I are both very fortunate. We both have husbands who are supportive of this, of being like, you need to dream big. You like my husband has wanted this for me more than like longer than I have. When started very part-time and he's like, "What we need to make this bigger. This needs to be," because he sees that it fuels my passion. It's
Yeah.
what I want to do and I can see it just a few times that we've chatted of like this is something that you're crazy passionate about. Do you have any advice, because people ask me this all the time, for women that do not have that support system, whether they're a single parent or they're in a relationship where the partner is not supportive of them rolling off on their own, for obvious reasons, the uncertainties.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, it's hard to say from my end because my husband is so supportive, but like you just have to believe in yourself even more if you don't have a supportive husband, and find a community and women around you, whether it's through Facebook groups or just finding entrepreneurs on Instagram. You got to build that community because it can be tough to go through it on your own. I internalize things a lot. And my husband always knows, he's like, something's wrong. Like, I can tell something's on your brain. And it feels so good to get it out. But like, you have to have someone that you can come and like talk to about, whether you're just not even just issues, but like things about starting a business or questions you have, and building that community I think is the number one thing if you don't have a supportive partner at home. I can't tell you how many amazing women I've met through Facebook groups. Like, I think Facebook is kind of like, when you think about Facebook, I think about my mom and dad using it. And how they like to like talk to their friends and their high school friends. But the communities and the groups on Facebook is literally one of my favorite things. I think it's such an amazing tool because you can
Mhm.
find a group for anything and it's incredible. And I've met a lot of really amazing women through Facebook groups who have helped me with my, just as I started this business.
Yeah, it's amazing. And obviously, post COVID, this has been like we leaned in and people
Yeah.
only could be online. So I think the community
Right.
aspect of Facebook, they did a great job of knowing their audience and really exploded with the communities that are available. You can find a community for everything. And we
Yeah.
always tell moms, like, make sure you find your village. But you
Mhm.
don't have to be a mom to find your village. Like I have a business village that I lean in on, and then I have a mom community, I have a neighborhood community. I think it's just so important not to go in this alone because like for me, I joined the Entreprenista League
Yeah.
because I didn't know what I didn't know. It was
Mhm.
like I'm a business owner and I don't have a background in business. My background is all in wellness and fitness. To know what like SEO is and all the funnels and all the tech and everything, I didn't even know what questions to ask. So joining a community where there are people that are at your level or maybe even a little behind, but way ahead of you can be really intimidating, but it's awesome to learn from those people that are going through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was going to bring up Entreprenista because that's how we met. If you do have the
Mhm.
funds, like Facebook is great if you're just starting off because it's
Mhm.
free, but joining a community that has business mindset for women like Entreprenista has been so huge. And
Mhm.
I actually listened to a podcast yesterday, and it was like, It was about a lady who launched a business, and she was like, you know what? If someone messages me, I try and make it a mission to write them back because I remember when I was just starting in my business, all of the questions I have. So another thing is don't be scared to reach out to a a small company that you admire because you never know when they're going to hear. And if you don't ask, you're never going to hear anything. And I think for me, that's such an
Mhm.
important message to remind myself of daily because I get so scared, like, oh, they're not going to respond to me. I'm just not going to message them. But like, don't be scared. If they don't answer, they just don't answer. You're not losing anything
And
from it.
if you don't send it, they definitely won't answer.
Exactly. Right. So just send it. You never know if you get a response. And if
Hmm.
you do, amazing. She did say, though, that was like, I was like, oh, okay, I have to remember this. Like, don't ask for a 30-minute call. Just ask a direct question because a
Absolutely.
lot of those entrepreneurs who have businesses that are a little bit bigger don't have
Hmm.
time. So if you have a specific question, ask that question. Don't say, hey, can I have a 30-minute call because they don't have time for that. Make it smart and calculated in your message and then they can respond specifically to that question. I was like, that's such good feedback for a new
Hmm.
entrepreneur who just wants to know everything. Like, go in and ask exactly what you want, that way they can answer it quickly and easily.
I love that. Someone reached out to me recently and was just like, if you don't have time, could you point me in the right direction? And I loved that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I do want to take the time, but if I didn't, I could point you in the direction of a resource or share a resource that helped me kind of thing. It kind of gave me a couple options, which I really enjoyed also.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you're starting out, it's so scary and you don't know what you don't know, but you just have to remember that everyone started at this spot.
Hmm.
Everyone started as a new business owner and they know what it's like. They know what the hustle is like. They know when you don't know what you don't know, and they're
Yeah.
willing to share their community and their knowledge to help others. So,
And that's such an important point too, because like when you started, like we all started with 0 followers on Instagram. We all started with like I had one person in my Facebook group who was my best friend who didn't even have kids, and it was Timeout for Moms. We all started somewhere.
friends.
So I
Yeah,
think we're so hard on ourselves, especially when you're just getting started on like, but I'm not this, but I'm not that, but you will be someday. But we all, everyone, I mean, Starbucks started somewhere, right?
right. Absolutely. You got to start from somewhere.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
I gotta ask, because your company name,
Yes.
your Lay Low Low, where did you come up with it? Where did this come from, and what was the inspiration?
Okay, so funny story. So for some reason, I was always stuck on the name Modern Mama. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a company, I'm gonna name it Modern Mama. And then I was Googling and there were like millions of Modern Mamas, like boutiques and all these things, and I was like, okay. And I went to get my name trademark, and the lawyer was like, you're not gonna be able to trademark that name.
Mhm.
You're not gonna be able to, it's too common. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And so my husband and I kind of went back to the drawing board and we were trying to think like, we wanted it to be something around moms and breastfeeding and postpartum and whatever that looks like. And we are thinking of ideas. And I don't know how, but I think we Googled like, what is milk or the boob or something? Like, how do you say it in different languages? And we
Mhm.
found that le lolo means the boob or a woman's breast or the tit in French. And I was like, oh my gosh, wait, that's so cute. I love that. So I think that's where it came from. So it means the boob in French.
Mhm.
Um, and we just kind of went with it. And I think it was like a blessing in disguise that Modern Mama didn't work out because now that I think about it, it's pretty boring.
I
And now,
love it because it's unique, and I love when you shared what it means. I was like, that's awesome. That's
yeah, yeah.
perfect.
So, it's like a meaning that a lot of women won't know, but if you look into a little bit more, it does have meaning behind it. So it's
Yeah.
like a fun play on, on the boob.
And
It's
all things
relatable.
breastfeeding.
Yeah,
Very relatable for new moms, since that's
right.
like all we talk about.
Yes. Yes, literally. Exactly.
Oh, this has been so awesome, Courtney. How do people find you? Where's the place you're most active?
We're most active on Instagram. We are Le Lolo, Lelolo. We're also on Facebook. We have a Facebook group that you guys can join. We're on TikTok. Um, and our website is wearelelolo.com. And we have so many new, like cannot wait for 2025 because the amount of products that we have in production right now, is just, I'm so excited. They're so fun, and I just can't wait to share.
Oh, I'm so excited. We'll have to share those with me and I'll kick those out to my audience also.
Awesome,
We have so
Sarah.
many expecting mamas in the new year, those first
Yeah,
couple months. Thank you so much for taking the time today. I love this. I'm so
Lolo.
excited to follow your journey and see where it goes. And it's awesome to connect.
Thank you, Sarah. Had the best time. You're awesome. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Everybody have a great day. We'll see you soon.